Hi, this is Heather Picken, host of the Fearless and Fabulous Female Masterclass. You're going to learn in 90 days or less how to take your business to the next level. You want to go to the next level, you've got to align your mind to your vision and you got to take action. So I want you to take notes, and I also want you to consider to upgrade to the Fearless and Fabulous bundle. What that is experts paid products given to you for only $97. This is important because it's supporting a cause called She Should Run. And that is about getting 250,000 women running for office by 2030. I want you to be a fearless woman. Stand in your power and know what you stand for. I hope you enjoy this masterclass. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another masterclass of the Fearless and Fabulous Female Entrepreneur Summit. I am just so excited. I'm fired up for this next amazing expert. I'm going to jump right into it because, again, I know your time is very valuable. Nadine Lajoie. I'm hoping, crossing fingers, I pronounced her name correctly. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She's an international award-winning entrepreneur. 20 awards. That's pretty impressive. Renowned international leadership speaker, MC and business consultant. Nadine pronounced, and she even has it in her bio, Lajoie, was retired and millionaire at the age of 41 from her financial business and became also a real estate investor and mentor. She's an ex-champion motorcycle racer, which is pretty fearless, at 180 miles per hour, now a champion yacht racer. Wow, she just doesn't stop. She trains and empowers businesses and employees worldwide about leadership, high achievement, success, champion mindset, business and marketing to increase productivity and build systems with her prosperity racing system. Nadine's passion, energy, knowledge, and experience on top of performing live songs during her trainings will guide you and transform you at 180 miles per hour. Wow. I'm ready for this. And so I want to welcome Nadine. Thank you so much for being my expert today.
Thank you so much for having me, and that would be fun, and give your listeners a lot of different tricks and tips for the next 90 days.
I love this. And I just, I have to tell you, you're kind of a badass.
Yeah, when I was a motorcycle racer, I was pretty badass. Now I race at 8 knots in the racing yachts instead of 180 miles per hour. So it's not as much adrenaline, but it's still a lot of fun.
I love that. And, this is so much in a line, like all of the things that you've been able to break through, as a woman in business, becoming an expert in your industry. And I love this, with a high achiever plan. And that is key. So you're going to walk us through the steps, of that today. And the first thing I want to talk about or ask you is how to integrate the 5 secrets to be a high achiever, because I think a lot of times, people don't understand what it really takes. So let's start there.
Yeah, thank you very much. And this is like the 5 secret of the high achiever is one of my my favorite topic, because when you start to be champion or high achiever in one field, I'm all about being multitask, having multiple passion, multiple businesses and all that. But until you do that at least once in your life, being successful in your business, being an entrepreneur, or being a high achiever in what you're doing, once you do it once, after that, you can do it for everything. And for me, it started with piano when I was 4 or 5 years old. I started piano. After that, I switched to volleyball, business, and I had achieved a lot of success about that. And I was wondering myself, because a lot of people ask me the question, how can you become an expert in so many areas? So the 5 secrets, if you have a pen and a paper. So the first one is focus. And as you see the picture behind, and you can probably see it also on my website, the eyes that I have on that picture is about the focus. Look where you want to go, not where you don't want to go, because in motorcycle, when you are in a corner, you need to look at the end of the corner, not at the beginning of the corner. So even if you have to do kind of a 180 degrees, you still look after the corner exactly where you want to go. That brings you the bike and the leaning into the corner. The same thing with your business. Every corner, you need to focus on corner number one when you are in corner number one. Don't think about the finish line. Don't think about corner three if you are in corner one. It doesn't work. And the focus also, focus, adrenaline is the second one. The adrenaline is all about smiling in your helmet, you know, like smiling in the morning when you get up. What brings you that passion that makes you not sleeping at night because you are too excited about the morning? What makes you laugh? What makes you happy? A lot of people are unhappy in their job, and that's really sad, because there are so many different areas of life that you can succeed, and you can take your passion. Like me, I was a musician. I wanted to be a singer, and at 14 years old, when Celine Dion sang for the Pope, I was hoping she would be sick so I can raise my hand and sing instead of her. But it didn't work out, and I recorded a couple of albums. I did a lot of professional competition. It didn't work out. But the adrenaline, the music is still in me. So I'm still using music through my TV show, interviews, businesses, and all that. So how can you take your business and change it to adapt, or change to bring your passion back in your life? Does it make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And I love how you're kind of taking us through, you know, kind of paralleling it to being in a race, like, you know, really being focused on not finishing the race, but turning that first corner, which I find a lot of, you know, women entrepreneurs, they get distracted, and they can look at you as an example, like, hey, I've done all of these crazy things, and here are the steps. Here are the steps that you need to do in order to achieve them. I actually have a quick question before we move on and give us all those 5 high achieving strategies. Were you always this determined, like, when you were growing up, did your parents like really push you, or did you find, you know, what kind of made you go on that track of being kind of a go-getter and that?
That's a good question. Actually, I was bored when I was young. That's why I did so many sports, so many things, because I had that big hole inside of myself, and I was never happy. Even if I was good at music, at sports, at everything, I was never happy. And because of that, that's why I developed so many passion, kind of to fill the hole, instead of doing it with alcohol or
Right.
addiction and all that. For me, that was sports and music. And really, sports and music saved my life, because I always said at 25, if life is not better, I will just kill myself. And 3 weeks before, not even 3 weeks, my birthday is May 9, and I start to be sick May 2nd. So a week before, I started to have a pneumonia, which means you don't want to live, you don't want to breathe, you don't want to be on earth. And somebody brought me the book, Listen to Your Body. And I also watched a TV episode. The TV host was talking about, if you want to commit suicide, you can do it, but call at least one friend. So at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I called my mom, and she listened to me. And that moment really changed my life, because I'm here for a reason. I'm here for my mission. And I'm also here to let your listener understand and feel that they always have a friend. You can call me, you can call you, they can call anybody to help them in their business, in their life, relationship, spiritual life, and everything. And the one thing that I want people to remember is this: when you're down and trouble, and you need some loving care, and nothing is going right, you've got a friend. Oh yeah, you've got a friend.
Woohoo! Awesome. Beautiful voice. Very
Thank
empowering.
you.
Very inspiring. You know, it's just like I'm hearing you talk and hearing you sing, and you know, a lot of times people look at the end result, they see how successful you are, but they don't understand the backstory of things that you have gone through. And a lot of women entrepreneurs, like what it takes to be, we're having the conversation, being a high achiever. So we talked about so far, let me see if I remember everything about, you know, being focused, talking about the adrenaline. What other factors are important in order to be a high achiever so that you can create the success that you want?
Thank you. So focus, adrenaline, discipline. Discipline is kind of in your head, in your attitude, discipline, visualization, how you kind of organize your week. Because like me, at one point I owned like 6 businesses, but I was not working in 6 businesses one day. You work for 2-3 hours or half a day on one business or a full day. So you focus on that day. And that discipline, like every day, having that same discipline, like when you practice your piano or when I was coaching volleyball or now in yacht racing, it's about do the stuff. And that brings me also to my 4th point, which is coaching. Stop being coached by the coach who are slower than you. And the best example for that is when I went to the Grand National Final in the motorcycle. I rent a car, slept in the hatchback of the car, rented the bike. In the morning I get up, the bike is not there yet. I'm taking out of the car. People say like, who is this girl? Like, obviously a girl at the racetrack. We're only 4 or 5 out of 500 guys. And everybody is trying to give you advice, or do this, do that. And within one half day or a full day, I was passing almost every guy who gave me advice. And that's why, even if I look like nothing with my car and sleeping bag in my hatchback rental car, I was passing those guys on their racetrack within a half a day or a day. So how many times people like listen to that and make maybe an exercise at home, take your pen and paper and your journal and ask yourself, who are your coaches? The 5 people that you are hanging with the most. Who are the coaches? Who are the mentors? And a lot of people, they are in sports as an athlete, we are used to have coaches. But in business, a lot of people are going into business without coach whatsoever. Or when they have a coach, they say, oh, I already have a coach. I don't need another one. But the problem is in business, especially as an entrepreneur, especially as a woman, because we have to work twice as hard to have the same recognition if we do. It's all about getting your stuff together and be sure you have that discipline and those great coaches. And I always recommend to all my coaching client, consultant client, have at least 3 coaches. Personal, professional, spiritual. Sometimes I have 5 coaches because when I wrote my book, I was coached by Les Brown because I became a best-selling author with Les Brown. So I prefer to learn from la crème de la crème, we say in French. Learn from the best of the best. And be sure you never listen to people who are slower than you.
I love that. Yeah, it's so true. And I love what you're saying about, you know, investing in yourself, investing into the right mentor and not just having one. I've always been, you know, under the philosophy of having multiple coaches because there are different areas of your life and business that, you know, not one person could probably you know, help you with those things, or there might be someone that's more specialized in that area. So I definitely think that is valuable. And let's see, did we get through all 5? I want to make sure we got all through.
No, we are missing the last one. Practice.
Oh.
Practice again. And again, for the at the racetrack, when you practice for 20 minutes, you have an 8 session a day and all that. I was always the first one on the racetrack. I was always the last one at the racetrack. Now I'm racing boats. I'm always one of the first one on the boat. I'm rigging the boat. I learned how to rig the boat, how every position is working with practice. And like I was saying at the focus, when you practice something, like at the racetrack, let's say I have problems in corner number 3, I go too wide. So now I'm focusing on corner number 3. For one full session for 20 minutes, I'm concentrating on corner number 3. The second session, I will focus, let's say, corner 11. And another time it's corner 1, another time it's corner 7. But at the end of the weekend, when you race, now everything starts to match together. Every pieces of the puzzle are starting to kind of glue together. And if you apply that in your business too, like half a day you focus on one thing, the other half a day you do something else, and you do that every week, you will see once you are in front of people speaking on stage, or when you are coaching your client, or when you are at a meeting, an important meeting with executive directors, CEOs, and all that. And do you know there is only 14.2% women CEO of big Fortune 500?
Yes.
It's not a lot. We have like 13.8% women in construction and only 14.2% as CEO or in a power position in big companies. But again, you need to practice, practice, and practice, and prove yourself. Prove yourself even more, because we are women. Unfortunately, that's still true. But once you make your mark in a field as a woman, once you get to that hump, over that hump, that's where you become really successful. That's why they were laughing at realtors when the women started in real estate, I don't know how many years ago, and they started to put their picture on their business card. Everybody was laughing at them. Oh, a woman as a realtor. And now a lot of women are really, really successful.
Yes. I love that. I love all of those tips that you gave us, especially about, you've got to practice, you got to have the consistency of what you're doing. And, you mentioned, the percentage of CEOs out there for women is abysmal, and that's why I think as women, we can get our messages out there and change the landscape all across the board, from CEOs to government. And, and one of the things you talk about is, your champion mindset. Because to me, if you're going to be an influencer in the world as a woman, you got to have a champion mindset. So what's your strategy for developing that?
Yeah, the champion mindset is really about, again, that discipline and that attitude that you are having with yourself, with other people. And when you walk into a room, what kind of energy are you bringing to the room? How many lights or how many people will turn around because they feel your energy? And one of the things that really changed my life is that episode in 95 about the suicide, because after that, that's where I started to be on a spiritual journey. So from 99 to 2004, I was on all kind of seminar, personal growth, leadership program, business program, because when you are with business people, with sales people, everybody is happy, everybody is pumped up. Yes, you arrive home, you have your own problem, but at least you have that energy to kind of support you. And to get that champion mindset, hang out with champions. Don't hang out with losers, people who are complaining all the time, naysayers, and all that. When I did my first trip in the US, I sold my house, my car, I had a nice Mercedes. I kind of get rid of my possession to buy an RV, a trailer, a second bike, and travel 21 states, 10,000 miles. That was a bold move, and everybody discouraged me, everybody. But the thing I did, and I really encourage for people who wants to have more success, let's say in the next 90 days, it's writing in your journal what you want to accomplish. And once you have problems, or like, let's say when I travel with my RV, one of the problem, people say, hey, you are by yourself, you will sleep in truck stops and in all kind of streets by yourself. I said, yeah, I will. And you don't have a gun, you don't have paper spray, you don't have this. I said, no, I don't. But one trick that I did. That's why every challenge you have, you find a solution. And my solution was to borrow the big boots from my dad, like 12 size, put a lot of muds on it and put them outside of my RV when I was arriving and parked somewhere. So people were thinking I had a big guy with me. So you see, there is always a solution for the problem. And that's why you discover who is a champion and who is a follower.
Yes.
And who is a loser. You know, it's how you take those challenges and those problems and how you find a solution for them.
I love that, you know, because I've been studying, you know, for so many years, successful people, and they go after the challenges. They always align their mind to what they want, and they find a solution. Just because you are faced with a problem doesn't mean that you can't get around it. I love that story, by the way, with the boots. I think that's very, very clever. I think that's
somebody gave me that trick. I cannot take the privilege of that, but that was a good trick.
Yeah, but again, you solve the problem. And a lot of times, they, like you said, there'll be naysayers. There'll be people, it can be friends, family, colleagues that say, who are you to do this? And you're just listening to, you know, your inner guidance and following what inspires you the most. So kudos to you on that. Now let's tie this into not giving up on your dreams. I know as an entrepreneur, when I started out on this journey, I wanted to give up so many times. I wanted to throw in the towel. That's where, thankfully, I invested in myself, got some mentors to kind of talk me off the ledge. But why is that important? Because I find too, and I'm sure you find this in your experience, is that a lot of people will give up right before they're going to have a breakthrough. So I was wondering if you could talk about that.
Yes, how to never give up in your dreams. I would give you like 3 different things we need to understand. First of all, the reason I became a financial planner, for me, that was for having a better lifestyle, because I knew money is bringing money. So I was a financial planner because I was an actuary by trade at the university. Didn't work out again, and I kind of transformed that dream into something similar with numbers, mathematics, finance, and all that. And creating the better lifestyle is not all about the money, the nice car, the nice house. Yes, it's all fun, and I went through that too. But better lifestyle, maybe spend one more night with your family during the week. Maybe go see a sunset once a week. Maybe just go to the beach once in a while. When I came here in California, I kind of visit probably every beaches. And I was asking people, hey, do you want to come with me at Doheny Beach or Manhattan Beach? Oh, I never went there. People are living here since 45 years. They never went to those beaches. We have so many good things around us. That lifestyle, like become an entrepreneur, that's why we do our own schedule. Sometimes I will work until 2 o'clock in the morning, but I don't get up before 11. Not the kind of lifestyle that I chose. And that is one of the big reasons. They all say, find your why, right? Mm-hmm. And for me, this was a big one to never give up my dream, because I'm always aiming about vacation, having fun. If I want to go race in the middle of the day, I can do it because I can change my schedule. So being an entrepreneur, it's really hard. It's a lot harder than people think. That's why probably 70% of the businesses are failing within 5 years.
Yes.
That's why you and me, we are helping entrepreneurs, and we are coaching and we are mentoring to be sure that they have the right tools and right strategy.
It's so true.
The lifestyle.
Yeah. And I just, you know, you had mentioned earlier about, you know, sometimes you have to stay up till 2 a.m. And I believe that goes back to what you were talking about, having that champion mindset. Like you have to be focused on your vision, and sometimes, you know, you have to put in the time and effort along with failing. Like, to me, just because you quote unquote fail doesn't mean it's an end result. Go back to finding a better solution. Like what you've done, you've been able to kind of pivot in different industries, which is really cool. You know, you've been doing a lot of different things in different industries. So I think that's pretty amazing. And so the last piece, and this is the big thing, I think that really puts the brakes on everything, is about breaking through the fear. This is what this whole summit is about. finding your right strategy, but also being fearless in your pursuit. So I was wondering if you could share a little bit about that, about how we can overcome our own terror and fear barriers.
The best example I would say is when I do my presentation, I have a PowerPoint with different picture of one crash of mine. Like the photograph is there, and kind of take the sequence. And because people were telling me, if you want to go fast, you need to don't be afraid to crash. Crashes are part of life. It's part of it. It's part of business more than anything else. Crashes are part of life. And once you accept you can crash, and finally the crash usually are not so bad. You kind of pick up your bike, you pick up the pieces, you put some fiberglass, and you kind of go back on track. But it affects your confidence. And the fastest you can go back on track to your same speed, to your same self-confidence, the fastest you will go through life and the fastest you will be successful. That's why they say when millionaire, even if they do bankruptcy, they go back millionaire. If somebody is winning $1 million, usually they lose that $1 million and they are never able to get back to it because they don't have the knowledge. And one of my favorite saying about that fearless is, if you think you are going slow, it's because you are going fast. If you think you are going fast, it's because you are going slow. So the knowledge becomes bigger. Like when you are used to race at 180 miles per hour, going at 120, it's nothing. If you are used to have a bicycle and you want to go at 120 miles per hour, it's too dangerous. It's even impossible. So get the people to get the level of knowledge better than their comfort zone. So now you improve your knowledge, you improve your comfort zone. You improve your knowledge, you improve your comfort zone. And a lot of people in that society, and I had a big example this week, people are aiming for mediocrity, for average or less than average. Customer service everywhere, big companies, is horrible. How people can go back home and be happy about giving somebody a bad service? Aiming for excellence is always more energetic, passionate, like dynamic, than giving a poor service. It's like smiling. If you smile to somebody, it's better than if you just do a half smile. So why do you do the job halfway? And that fear of crashing and not serving the people, like in the customer service, should promote the people and should kind of push them to a new limit. And it's all about pushing. And when you're on the bike, like if my knee is not on the ground, it's because I'm not going fast enough. If you are not successful, if you are not crashing, it's because you are not going fast enough. And that was hard in motorcycle racing when my friend, before my first crash, they were saying, we can feel it that you are afraid to crash. And when you're not feeling that you are afraid to crash, that's where you will kind of propulse yourself into a new level of success.
I love it. And it's so true. So, what you're saying is that you've got to actually anticipate the failures in order for you to break through the next level. And as you do that, you have more knowledge. You create, to me, it's like you jump through new levels of awareness in your mind so that you can, be a high achiever. This whole conversation is about here are the strategies to be a high achiever. If you implement them, like Nadine is talking about, you will be able to break through. Now, I know we're almost about out of time. This has been so inspiring, Nadine. And I know you have a free bonus gift, which we have the link below wherever you're watching or listening. So can you tell us a little bit about what that is? Yeah, it's part of my high achiever plan. It's a video to really kind of teach people different thing about your message, how to build your expert grid blueprint. It's kind of a tool that I created years ago with the nine different steps. And you have 3 or 5 different lines with 3 or 4, 5 different stories that you have, and lesson and credibility and all that. And I really teach that because a lot of people
they have so much in themselves, but they are not organizing all their idea. And because I do real estate, I do real estate investment, speaking, coaching, and all that, I developed that tool. So depending on which kind of radio show I'm going, if I go talk to about real estate instead of woman empowerment, I'm choosing different steps. And that's what the people, we are more and more women and men, Renaissance women or men, Renaissance men, to be able to achieve more than one success in our life. So why don't you even try? You know, a lot of people, they don't even try.
Yes.
And that's what the bonus is about. And it's giving you different tools and strategy for, I think it's about an hour video. I have a series of 6 videos, but I'm giving the first one for.
I love it. Nadine, you are such an inspiration. You are a fearless and fabulous female. So I just want to thank you so much for coming on today and giving us these strategies. And I want everyone to take what she's saying and make sure that you're actually watching this video or listening to it, not once, not twice, but multiple times until it becomes a part of you. And I encourage you to download her bonus. So Nadine, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you.
And I just want to sign off with being fearless and fabulous in anything that you do. And if you put yourself out there, just expect, like Nadine was saying, to fail your way up to being successful. Until next time, this is Heather Picken. Take care, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed this masterclass. Now, my question for you is, what are you going to do in the next 90 days? I want you to take action that is aligned with your ambitious goal. You know, when I work with clients, I actually show them how to change the neuroplasticity of their brain. And part of the process is really understanding, you know, what goal, what action that I want to take is actually in alignment with my vision and mission and purpose. So you want to make sure that you have that. My other ask is to consider doing the Fearless and Fabulous Female Bundle. That is an upgrade, and it's $97. It runs throughout the summit. The reason why that's important is, number one, it's going to accelerate the rate in which you start attracting your success with some of the strategies that these experts are offering you. Number two, it's actually going to support a cause called She Should Run. As I mentioned earlier, it's about getting 250,000 women running for office by 2030. As women, we are so powerful, and I believe we're really living in an interesting time that we can change the world with our work. So again, I hope you consider the Fearless and Fabulous Bundle, and I want you to take action, okay? I'm going to be checking up on you.